I was the one to stop calling and checking in. Would anyone care at all? Who would try and save me from myself? When everyone is so self-centered, when it has nothing to do with them. If there's no reward, what would be the point? What happens when I hang up the phone and disappear from social life? Would anyone even wonder where I went or why? Would anyone even care if I died? Would anyone ever try to call me and ask if I'm alright? What would happen if I stopped being the one to always message first? When society has become the social norm for outcasts to be looked down upon, that a stranger in need isn't worth the trouble unless there's something they get in return. When there's someone crying on the inside of that bathroom, laying on the cold hard tiles, swallowing them pills, hoping they can silence the voices within. Cause no one else will listen when there's someone standing on the edge of that balcony ready to jump, because every time they open up they got laughed at and became a joke. What about that person holding a knife to their arm, who's been bullied and beaten down for most of their life, and all they wanted was for someone to just be a true friend and defend them? Is it not our responsibility because they aren't a part of our circles we have? We could do better by lending a helping hand and sitting down with them while they shed tears and listen to their stories. But instead we choose to turn our heads because it's simply not our problem. What happens when I hang up the phone and disappear from social life? Would anyone even wonder where I went or why? Would anyone even care if I died? Would anyone try to call me and ask if I'm alright? What would happen if I stopped being the one to always message first? Why have we become so selfish that we have formed groups of friendships that anyone on the outside of that, it don't matter unless it's relevant? We all seem to come together to mourn the loss of a fallen friend, when in reality he or she was reaching out for help, and no one cared to see the signs of stress because they kept the darkness inside and always had a smile on their face. They just continued on their routine day. Nobody ever noticing the slight differences and changes he or she made, giving hints the most subtle ways. So let me ask you this. What happens when I hang up the phone and disappear from social life? Would anyone even wonder where I went or why? Would anyone even care if I died? Would anyone ever try to call me and ask if what would happen if I stopped being the one to always message first?